little bit of a hand warm-up, hadn't been on the stage for a moment as we had to go through the losers semis and the losers finals. And we're going to get straight into game one. This is what you guys have been waiting for. I can't say that with a straight face when we go back to PS2, right? You've been waiting for PS2, and you've also been experiencing PS2. We're back to PS2, ladies and gentlemen. It's Greninja versus Snake again.
Yeah, and again, when we saw this from winner's side, I believe it was like a 3-0 sweep, right, from IceKnight?
It was
like
it was either 3-0 or 3-1. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was definitely feeling, very dominant, but we recently looked at the set count between these two. They have played each other before this event 3 times.
Yeah.
And Rob was actually up 2-1 in the set counts. IceKnight just evened it up to 2-2 in the winner's side right here, and Grand Finals is going to be kind of what determines who's going to go up, and right now Rob is the one that's up.
Yeah, and especially with such a great lead right now and so early in the game, under a minute here. You've got the momentum going, but IceKnight is not looking to stop either. An up air, maybe one more to do it, and there it is. So we will hopefully get that clean slate now, and that's exactly what IceKnight's plan is here, to keep that going and keep the ball rolling with these stocks being taken back and forth here.
I love the slow, wait until the grenades are in place, and then run up, grab, use the invulnerability to dodge the second grenade, and start another advantage state, then reset to neutral immediately. Like, we're back to center stage, we're starting it over with water shurikens, fishing for openings, and otherwise not going for anything aggressive.
That's just like true neutral.
Yes, exactly, true neutral.
Let's not get abrasive here, and let's use our safe options and all our projectiles.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's only going to last so long, right? You do have to approach at some point, especially when you're in this percentage deficit. Finding a up throw into multiple up airs, but the grenade does break it out. That was a previously placed one. And unfortunately, even with that nice little combo that IceKnight showed, 3 grenades exploded in the face, and 2-fold over the damage is returned.
Yeah, and we've only seen so little from Greninja come out there that he only landed 40% on Snake here. But the C4 hits from ledge? Wait, is that real?
That's real. I mean, we talked about how Rob is very familiar with the hitboxes on all the explosives, using the Nikita to hit past ledge, under ledge, and the same can go for the C4 as well. Rob is up a stock at the moment. IceKnight's going to try to play the ledge trap game as long as possible. Wants to close out the stock. Isn't necessarily impatient to do so, but you have to be able to find the opening, and right now Rob is the one finding each and every opening.
Yeah, and again, it's just one of those situations, again, where Rob is going to play in that corner, kind of wait for IceKnight to approach him. Again, there's that wall that we're just creating with the grenades here, and that space is being, created with, like, taking his time with recovering as well. I mean, just stalling him out there, and IceKnight needing to approach off stage.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just a difficult game right now.
Danger right there. Dropped into the grenade, pushed away, but the up smash does turn it right back around. IceKnight getting down throw laid on the ground and then reversal into his own stock. 97% though, that's quite an uphill battle to climb, especially against a Snake. At 0%, you have to find continuous openings, and you cannot get caught.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard and tough battle for IceKnight to make up this percentage and even find the stock here, but he could get it done right off of the stage. Catches the grenade, can't make anything to do with it here. Gotta find a way in.
That was almost a big opening, the dash attack into the forward air. Trying to chase really high with this. The falling Nikita again, keeping him safe, but hopping back with the forward air. Still gets caught by the grenade, worrying it into dangerous territory right now. Oh, IceKnight can find a combo right here with a down tilt or a nicely spaced dash attack, but unfortunately, Rob could find it just the same.
Oh, yeah, and especially that air dodge was so smart going up there from Rob, missing that follow-up from IceKnight. But the jab is not going to do it yet. Another Nikita for your troubles there. We are literally at death percent for both of these players here. So next wrong move will take it, and that's not going to take it, actually.
Not it, but 170% is the sweet spot. I mean, we're well past the sweet spot. Right now, you have to be worried about every throw and being so worried about that, trying to get out of the corner quickly. With a quick neutral get up, it's caught out by the dash attack. Rob goes up 1-0.
Yeah, and we're seeing quite the momentum shift here because, again, as Rob is warmed up and he knows what to do now, it's all about that adaptability and needing to just understand what can I do differently this time that'll impact my game plan, that will impact my style and like the way I approach, how I need to defend myself. And especially against IceKnight, Greninja, let alone a very elusive character, you've got to play around that. And Rob just being in his face is completely doing him wonders right now.
And none of this has been off of an edge guard, right? There hasn't been like a single Nikita or anything that IceKnight has had to deal with off stage. It's all just been on stage pressure into like kills off the top last zone, right? It's just been constantly trading stage positioning back and forth. And I think if IceKnight has his druthers, of course, he's trying to get like pressure onto the side or the top last zones more so than playing center stage.
Yeah, and even when we have seen the opportunities that Rob has edge guarded, he's just been stationary because he doesn't have to work so hard for the edge guard, let alone IceKnight has to, you know, go deep and fish for that here. So again, we're just gonna try to
say what you really think. That IceKnight has to work harder for this win.
Oh, it's
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Well, yeah, because, you know, I mean, Rob's got so many, like, tools up his sleeves here. We've got Grenade, we've got Nikita, and that's also what's stopping so much momentum from flowing from IceKnight here. We're seeing those combos being broken.
I agree with you. I just think that you might be, you know, bothering Michigan by saying that Rob has an easier time here. Going up a stock, I mean, the proof's in the pudding. That's all I'll say. IceKnight trying to find an edge guard deep here. I like the Nikita and the Grenade recovery. It just keeps a very safe way to get back to ledge. And IceKnight's going to start this over, and we're going to see it again, right? Grenade into the recovery, but no Nikita to keep it safe, so we have to go even higher. And IceKnight can't quite follow, but the Hydro Pump was very clean. Unfortunately, after Cypher, you are still actionable, so air dodge back to stage keeps Rob alive. Ooh, okay. Using the projectiles against him, but still not enough to take the stock. At this point, you've got to really do something. Oh, very interesting. Buffered air dodge there off of a back air. I guess they were expecting to be sent into the blast zone and buffered it just a little bit too early. In any case, evens up the stocks. I like how both of them are playing around their projectiles at this point. And the substitute coming out, nice mix-up.
We haven't seen it too much, so you're getting what you asked for here.
I was hoping to see it, but I like that Rob had kept himself safe by having a grenade next to him. So the substitute actually traded with the grenades, and the damage was ultimately negligible. Okay. You can see a back throw, just starting off some Nikita right here. We saw IceKnight expertly avoid Nikitas in the first time that they had these sets with the Hydro Pump. Not having to try quite as hard in this moment right now, but eating all this damage, falling out of moves left and right.
Yeah, not looking too pretty there for Rob, especially when you want everything to hit. But it's going to be brutal when you've got IceKnight right there on ledge waiting for your approach. So, again, going to be playing with the Rage. 122 on IceKnight, going to make the most of it right now. I've got a little bit of an up air train for you. 3, maybe something else to connect? No.
Yeah, I couldn't quite do it after the grenade breakout. Knew that last up air was not true, and Rob was happy to pull the frame 1 escape option. Ooh, the F tilt off of some miss option right there. Rob goes up the stock, and IceKnight wants to trade it back quick. You can see the aggression has upped quite an ante.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, you're at 0%, got nothing to lose except for your stock, so we got to play a little behind here, but he's not scared whatsoever as we're going for a grab here onto off stage now. So it's going to be ledge, trapping just a little bit of the water shurikens to keep him off bay, and there's the Hydro Pump.
What? You just fastball down tilt? You're just allowed to do that? That's crazy. IceKnight unfortunately couldn't find a punish at 146%. Rob is on last legs right now. IceKnight fishing for a grab a little bit too deep with the fish. Oh my goodness, they're just trading back and forth. The scramble is a little bit scary, but it does prevent Rob from setting up reliable projectile options. That's a low shield.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we saw so many like tomahawks there from like IceKnight. He was just kind of hopping around and finally going to be able to get that back air in, I believe. So going to be evening up the game count now too.
Looking like some adaptation came through, obviously, right? We just ran it back to PS2, but what was IceKnight really doing differently? I think just suffocating Rob whenever projectiles weren't on the board, and then whenever they were on the board, trying to be creative about how you reset neutral or approach with them on the board. Utilizing the grabs more often, I think was a key point, a key factor in the approaches. So we're going to see if we choose to, up the gas or hit the brakes a little bit.
Yeah, and especially as you mentioned as well, like Rob being prepared for that substitute once again. Like that's only something that IceKnight had hit like maybe once or twice, but still being prepared for something like that is such like a tremendous amount of awareness because you're able to just like recognize, okay, well that's still an option and he can still do that.
Right.
So I might as well just cover all grounds possible here.
Down air out of shield, very strong, quick option for Snake. And trading damage, not a happy place to be, obviously. 115% and climbing. IceKnight's decided to slow it down just a little bit with some water shurikens. Let the explosives explode on Rob himself. And look at this slow approach, but unfortunately got caught in the grenades. Trying to find an opening, but almost a little bit too desperately. Eats the back air. We've got a Nikita to avoid at this point. And that, again, masterful maneuvering, but still a missed down air leads to a punish, and Rob does not miss. A lot of these scramble approaches with like the falling nairs have been eaten by these down airs out of shield. And finally we saw an adaptation there where IceKnight was prepared for the down air out of shield and actually capitalized on the punish. It's just these quick adaptations that only last for like 45 seconds in each game. And then suddenly you don't see the interaction happen again. So now another conditioning. Down air out of shield came out again. So what's the option next time? Maybe it's just abandoned entirely.
And sometimes like the best option as well is like to do nothing at all.
Right. IceKnight's a big fan of that one, just kind of stalling out sometimes.
Just doing nothing, right.
Yeah, just hanging out and waiting for you to literally explode yourself. But at 106%, there's not a lot of waiting you can do. You kind of have to approach.
You really got to make something work here and fast. But again, with Rob, no up tilt follow. I was expecting the up tilt as usual.
It can't be guaranteed until 160%, but I was expecting the tech chase at the very least.
Well, yeah.
IceKnight just kind of neutral get up, and it caught him off guard a little bit, I think.
Okay. Well,
just walk into it sometimes, foot to the face.
I still wasn't wrong. Oh my gosh, the fair into the up tilt here.
Down into the up foot.
What in the world? Oh no,
this is looking dire. How do we get back in? How do you start your game plan? These downers have been unbelievably useful for Rob this set. Like, it's done probably the majority of the damage, more so than even grenades. Oh, try to close off the stock off of a missed grenade, but the mortar for the first time is going to take this stock. Rob goes up 2-1 in our first set of grand finals.
Yeah, and again, we just saw like that disconnection there where IceKnight wears like fishing for that stock there, but unable to follow up with that backer or like not the correct spacing or whatnot. That was so detrimental there, and that's kind of also like what sold him on that second stock, not being able to get that in time. But yeah, we're gonna be moving on to game 4 now. So IceKnight still holding it down with one game. Gotta turn it around though in 2 more games if he wants to win, or we could see the potential reset, as we mentioned, Kevin.
Yep, but they're going to keep running it back to PS2 regardless, right? Like, reset, no reset, doesn't matter what game we're at. PS2 is where we live.
It all looks the same.
There's no need for a stage counter pick. It's clear to both of these players that they can win on this stage. It's not making the difference ultimately.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, if anything, honestly, it's IceKnight's favor to have a stage this large, being able to run back and avoid projectiles at a larger distance, and Snake covers less percentage of the stage on a stage this long with C4, with grenades. So it gives IceKnight a little bit more freedom of movement, and I think Rob is just happy to be on the stage that he's very comfortable with.
Right, yeah, and if anything, like, he's more than happy to take up more space of the stage, as we see that he covers so much. But an unfortunate, like, SE from IceKnight there. Yeah, just a little bit into a blunder there. But hopefully we can see a little bit of a clean stock here. We will see if he has it to take the stock. But again, it's just kind of slowing down a little bit. And sometimes that is what you need, to just slow down and realize what will get it there. And that's what it is sometimes. It's just like, the quick little down tilt into the up smash to kind of, breathe and like realize, all right, let me just slow this down.
Exactly. Slow down, get back to basics, do some ledge pressure, and then read your opponent's option off of ledge. Into an up smash does take the stock. Sometimes slowing down the mind is exactly how to take the body. Falling back air right there. Cypher, a little low, but the air dodge gets it back. The C4, I think, not sure where that one was, but did not explode as expected. There it was, landed on the ground right there. And we're seeing it again. Rob at ledge, pulling the grenades, pulling the explosives, working his way back to center slowly, but not pressed to do so quickly.
Yeah, he will gladly take his time, slowly but surely, and it is Tech City in here. Oh my God,
it's Tech City. They both make it back to stage safely, though. Pretty anticlimactic, but we're going to have to avoid a Nikita and an air dodge into a hydro pump. Tried to predict the outward hydro pump, but IceKnight was still a little bit too far away. Nair caught out by the up tilt. Ugh, that's a nasty one.
Yeah, and again, we've just got this rage built up now on the Snake here, so looking pretty deadly here. So IceKnight's looking to hopefully finish this out with one aerial or one good connection. Could definitely do it here. Again, gonna see if we make it back, but into the trap there, into the back here. So now we've got a clean slate here. Last stock.
Once again, we see a stock taken by just a clean ledge trap, setting up your normal aggression and then reading the roll back to stage with that forward air. So IceKnight getting back to basics seems to be the way to win here. But how do you do that from a place of even stocks and neutral stage positioning? Approaching is difficult, especially with these explosives on the board. And now you turned it around. Rob has center stage. That's dangerous.
Yeah, and again, it's because like he can just create this wall of explosives, and it's like after that, what else can I really do? If I try to break the wall down, I'm just gonna like get exploded on.
Okay, the dash attack forward. Rob trying to just rack up this damage slowly, take this stock, reset the bracket, and ultimately go up 3-2 in their overall set count. Trying to just send it home very patiently. Okay, well, the Nikita, I don't know about that one.
That one I'm not familiar with. But we will see here. IceKnight, though, still not out just yet. We've got that percentage built up. We've got these pairs connecting. No up air. There is one to follow up. Maybe another potential one or an up smash, something to poke through here. There is the back throw, and hopefully another connection here. Off
Oh,
stage.
that was so clean.
Grenade toss.
Oh, just so patient. Rob waited to get back to stage. Still rolled. The option has been popular, and IceKnight tried to be ready for it, but the timing was mixed up just very nicely. So Rob gets another chance here. Air dodged away, expected the follow-up with the fair. Oh, fantastic sneak attack to the other side. Every sneak attack off stage we have seen has forced a stage tech. This is the first time we've seen the cross-up descend the opposite direction. And IceKnight says, if you want to reset the bracket on me, I'm going to make you work for it.
He's definitely making him. He's putting him work right now. We've got game 5 now before reset. This is hopefully true, Grants. We'll see it because it is make it or break it here. And I'm pretty sure we're just going to run it back to PS2. There
What?
it is.
That's crazy. Again?
What?
Game 5 of the first set of Grand Finals. Chicagoland versus Michigan. Rob does not want to let Michigan go home without a bigger fight. Trying to reset the bracket, and IceKnight is holding the wall. This dash attack, a lot of dancing on stage right here, trying to find the opening. Rob would like to set up projectiles, but you have to start an advantage to do so. IceKnight getting back to that sort of fundamental playstyle of suffocate Snake whenever grenades are not on the board. Whatever you can find your opening, just try to constrict. You can see not letting off on the pressure, not over-aggressing, but not letting Snake set up C4s and double grenades at any time.
Yeah, and even we're seeing these little water shurikens. Like, as much as they're doing chip damage, it still amounts to something because it could get something started, and there's just potential in that. So that's just what we're going to be seeing, but an unfortunate C4 they're going to take IceKnight's first stock.
That was well-placed and well-timed to catch IceKnight. They were looking like they were trading blows nicely, and IceKnight was feeling like he had the driver's seat, controlling the cadence of the game, but that just flipped it around on its head so quickly that now Rob can be patient, pull the grenades, play off stage, set up whatever you want. Like, you don't have to be afraid anymore. Okay, the forwarder does come out, cleans up the stock. Now Rob has to fear a little bit more. He knows that IceKnight, with a stock being even, is still a massive threat. With the stock advantage, that's what you're hoping for. So we're going to see some aggressive options here. No, that's it. I'm surprised. The C4 was placed and just went for some jab options to try to force a neutral get up into the C4. Didn't quite take it.
Yeah, we saw a little option coverage, especially with the up smash, but that Nikita really did that?
That one was new.
Wow.
That was new.
Okay.
Trying to cover the edge guard, followed high and hit low. Rob, an expert with the missiles, clean with the parries.
Parries, man.
Full stock down. IceKnight does not have the position here to play super patient on his own game.
Oh, yeah, definitely turning up the heat here with some smash attacks here and the Shadow Sneak for your troubles.
Oh, that was so clean!
He's gonna take it, and we are now down to the last stock for Game 5 here. And we're either going to see a reset or IceKnight takes it here.
What an incredibly early stock, the Hydro Pump, pushing him away from the C4, so he could not get the recovery back to stage. I mean, just incredible awareness from IceKnight. That is exactly what he needed, to find an early stock, to try to even this back up, because he does not want the bracket reset. He says, I gotta go home. It's almost midnight, y'all.
I got a curfew.
You can see it trying to approach, and the pacing of the game, even though the approaches are still slow, you can feel how high octane the movement is in this moment. They're both throwing out options more and more with each passing second.
Yeah, there is just no time to waste here thinking about options or what will do the job. We're just going to throw out options here and hope that one will hit. That exactly is the plan here. As we got the C4 set up in that corner, it was so scary, but we got the up tilt taking IceKnight's last stock, and we will be going to a reset for Grand.
Oh my goodness. Now, let's take a moment to recap the end of that set right there. We were both talking about how high octane the game had gotten, and how every passing second things were happening more and more and more, and that patience was no longer afforded. Who did that benefit more? Of course, it was Rob. We talked about how IceKnight was benefiting so much from playing slow, from playing patient, from playing fundamentally, and unfortunately, that led to the downfall, and we now have a bracket reset. Rob fighting for Michigan. IceKnight trying to avenge all of the fallen soldiers of Chicagoland by taking this one home. This is the bracket reset.
We've got an even game so far, though. I mean, we've got a little bit of a switch up here, and IceKnight almost taking that first stock. We could see a bit of a momentum shift, possibly, but again, Rob going high for that recovery.
Nikita
not
falling?
Gonna get caught just yet here, and again, IceKnight just trying to get that finishing blow, but again, Rob is just gonna make him work very hard for that stock there, and the C4 on deck as well. This is very scary.
Almost again! Almost floated right into the up tilt, but didn't quite get caught. They're both at fairly high percentages at this point, but the down tilt forward air. Great DI from Rob all the way to the corner to stay alive for just a little bit longer. IceKnight faking the chase high, baiting out an option from Rob, getting the forward air to clean up the stock. Advantage IceKnight, that's pretty big.
Yeah, and again, with that substitute, we just don't see it as often, but it looks like it is favoring so far IceKnight, just as like a secret third option, if you will, that we just see that sneaks in and just amplifies the gameplay just a little bit, and that deciding factor here. So again, it's still going to be dicey for IceKnight as he's still on this first stock. He's got to play his cards right here, and that 134%, we're reaching that max rage percentage, so we'll see if he has what it takes to take another potential stock off of Rob here.
Ooh, great frame trap, continuing the pacing right here. C4 could not be dropped. Every time that Rob has dropped C4, he's immediately exploded it. He has not been able to set up a C4 trap. He has not been able to set up any additional pressure with the C4. Has had to use it to get out of danger because IceKnight is not letting up off the gas. As long as he is in advantage, he can play impatient. He can keep the octane high, and that's exactly what's happening here. 2 stocks up for IceKnight.
Yeah, and I believe this is like the most advantage we've ever seen IceKnight in these 2 sets right now.
True.
So this is going to be very intense. He's scared right now. He's shaking in his boots, doesn't know what to do. But that back air will close it out for Rob. First stock now off IceKnight, but again, still got 2 more stock to burn through if you're rooting for Rob here or at home. So again, don't want to approach too aggressive here. Oh my gosh, so much going on.
Down smash does hit a little bit of snake, but it hits a lot of grenade too, so it gets him out of trouble. Rob falling with the backer, but getting the F tilt. Down tilt to catch the dash in is just walling him out, not only with explosives this time, but with his own body. Down tilt. Oh, found the tech chase, the neutral.
There it is.
Oh my god, the neutral tech is always what IceKnight is ready for.
Yeah, beautifully done there from IceKnight, looking more clean than our previous set, cleaning up things, keeping going, and you know what, not going to let that put like a mental stress on him whatsoever. It's just unfazed, unbothered, and going to be going to game 2, none of them just going to let go of the gas. As you mentioned, I mean, this is like high stakes pretty much. We just got to just rapid fire these games.
Despite the W next to IceKnight's name, we are in the grand finals reset. Both of these players have taken a loss, and so this is the final set of the night. We're in game 2, back to PS2. I mean, you expect it, right? But it's starting to get to the point where it's no longer boring. It's interesting to see how they choose to adapt with the same structure for, millennia at this point. It's like Smash Melee, it's the same structure, but it doesn't get more boring. Am I right? Not the right audience. Okay, back into the game action. C4 was a threat, but up tilt's what caught. Nikita straight down, catches IceKnight. That's a clean stock for Rob. A lot of dancing right here. The C4, again, he just explodes it right there, but it's only when he has the pressure now. He's happy to explode it when he knows he can reset it up at any moment, and there it is. Couldn't quite get it on the edge of the platform like I think maybe he wanted to, but it does still prevent an edge. Oh, a ledge trap is what I was going to say. Exploded it on the recovery to make sure he could get back safely. Down, air, out of shield. Last time we saw that take effect, it was a massacre of a game for Rob. Let's see how much more he chooses to shield and use that option.
Oh, man, yeah, just
Tragedy.
caught slipping there and literally walked into the C4. Unfortunate for IceKnight. Now it's the last stock here. I mean, we could see a 3 stock potentially here, but IceKnight's got to make his way in, find that option sooner or later here, but yeah, it's just looking so
down here again.
So dominating.
There's
here.
no way we're seeing a ledge trump with Snake right now, but IceKnight was able to avoid it, but unfortunately to his own demise. So Rob goes up another game. That one lasted maybe 45 seconds. I mean, that was quick. Snake games are usually slow, but Rob turned on the pressure right there.
He's different. He truly is. Because
different.
when I watch her, it's like I watch games go to like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But when we're watching Rob here, it's like we've got no time to waste. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's keep moving.
I mean, let alone it's probably like 11 something. Yeah,
right.
It's 11. Let's go. We've got like curfew.
Right.
We're overdue here.
And it stuffs out IceKnight's momentum super heavily too, right? Like the second that you take a game in such a dominating fashion after a loss,
right?
Like momentum is fully swapped. There is only favor now for Rob. IceKnight though, trying to turn it right back around. Not phased. That's something that you mentioned that I think is just such an indicative thing about watching this player. He's just not phased by these losses. If anything, it invigorates him.
Yeah, and sometimes that just like fuels you. That's all you need sometimes to really get going here, and that could be the turning point for IceKnight if you like just be a little more demanding in this game here. But again, with approaching, it's just so dangerous because you've got that C4 that's threatening you. You've got the grenades, and you've just got so many explosives in your face. Like it really is scary when you're trying to approach like this.
Yeah, and dancing around the C4 is a dangerous game to play. IceKnight thought he could use it to his advantage, baiting out a C4 usage, but unfortunately it only led to his own demise. Getting taken a his stock off of the blast zone on the side, I think we're starting to see the fatigue set in. Playing against Snake is a tasking, grueling task on your brain whenever you have to constantly think about when you can approach, when the projectiles are there. And now that we're in a Grand Finals reset and their third set played today, I think we're starting to see the wheels come off just a tad. However, it doesn't mean it's over.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, even though you're running low in the gas tank, you still got maybe just a little bit to still rev up that engine, cook something at the very last moment here. So we will see if they got something on the back burner or, if they're holding back maybe just a little bit. We'll see. Again, this is game 3. So we've got a little wiggle room, but I mean, for both these players, I'm pretty sure they would not want to let down.
Holding down center stage, the C4 is shielded this time. IceKnight is prepared for it, and now there's no C4 for Rob to get back to safety. There's going to have to take some aggressive approaches here. Air dodging back to stage doesn't do it. Cypher jump off of ledge isn't going to do it, so let's go high. That's the bread and butter for Snake. IceKnight's ready for it. Finally, air dodge through, and Rob finally again gets back to stage. For how long?
Yeah, who knows? IceKnight is already trying to send him into the skies here, but Rob is going to be stationary as much as possible, landing it up till they're almost taking IceKnight's stock, but the up air there will most definitely take it.
Oh, you can see IceKnight is getting a little bit impatient now, just throwing the forward airs into the grenades that are already on the stage. And Rob's game plan is just so simple at this point, right? Pull grenades. Pull grenades, and IceKnight is going to continue to approach.
And it's so scary too, because it's like, what more can you really do, like, except for approach? I mean, you can sit in the corner and kind of stall it out, but at some point you got to make a move here, and it's really just threatening for IceKnight here, because you're on your last stock here. Potential death percentage here, not landing the C4 though.
Trying to go high. Nikita falling onto the platform. The Hydro Pump doesn't push him away. That log was hanging out on the edge for a little bit too long, but it finally goes away. Not that it was doing too much. These other projectiles are the ones that you want to worry about. Grenade in hand. I love that idea. Grenade in hand, run up substitute, but Rob was ready for it, knew that was what was going to happen, and with all of that hit lag on the substitute, of course you have plenty of time to do so. So that is an option that IceKnight mixed in, but wasn't going to do much. We have to get back to bread and butter.
Yeah, we really do have to stick to basics here, but unfortunately, we're going to be getting another C4 stock. And again, Rob is up 2-1 now. This is it.
This is it.
This is game point, match point.
All the way from losers off of a set loss against IceKnight in winners finals, Rob is trying to bring it all the way back. He's got Michigan all behind him. You can hear them raucous at the end of each of these games. Rob is looking more and more poised to take Midwest Battleground back home to Michigan for himself.
Yeah, and we will find out in this game 4. This could be it for IceKnight, but we will find out if he still has any more fuel in his tank here, going for a greedy Shadow Sneak, trying to get something going. But again, Rob is going to quickly respond with a couple tricks of his own here.
Yeah, you can see IceKnight approaching on top of these grenades still, wanting to suffocate out Rob, but when the grenades are on the ground, you have to be more patient. Now, this is the time where you can be aggressive, and you can see IceKnight gaining a lot of value off of that aggression. Yes, you can trade a grenade as long as you are getting value out of it, and IceKnight's finding a whole lot off of first stock in Game 4.
Yeah, and it's really just a lot of like high reward, low risk, because as much as you will take chip damage, as long as you can trade and especially stray away from those C4s and Nikitas, IceKnight could look pretty good here, but we will see again if he's able to adapt to that and figure it out his way around that C4 there on that ledge.
IceKnight's being a lot more patient now, and I really like that, right? You don't want to do anything too impatient until you have the stock lead. Well, I'm not sure I went for that up tilt right away, but it did actually lead to his stock being lost. Rob making quite a little bit of a mistake there that hopefully doesn't cost him for too long. IceKnight's at high percentage.
Oh, man.
Nikita off stage. Are we going to avoid it with the Hydro Pump? Yes, towards the stage this time instead of away. Rob was prepared for away, but IceKnight, if there's one thing that he's never going to give up on, it's the Hydro Pump Nikita avoidance. He hasn't missed yet.
It's been working, so, again, if it ain't broke, why fix it?
It's true. 169% and climbing. Now, again, we're back into this position where we have to worry about throws. IceKnight's not doing much of shielding, and so we're just going to go for an air-to-air. Forward-to-air does take the stock back. Not a lot of extra credit. In fact, if anything, IceKnight is now at the deficit.
Yeah, and that's so unfortunate because we saw like a great lead that IceKnight was holding there still with that first stock, but we really just did not see any more happen here. But he is just going to keep going, though, off of this clean slate. Since it's even, he feels like he's just going to take advantage there. And there it is with the Shadow Sneak. We see the advantage, turning point for IceKnight. And again, going to play a little more calm and patient, as you mentioned, Kevin, going for that center stage here. Don't want to approach Rob too much, and it's going to be scary to land on him as well, avoiding these stairs as he's been hit by it time and time again. So just trying to avoid him as much as possible here and find those opportunities to interact and approach without having that low reward, high risk kind of thing.
That was quite an interesting Hydro Pump back to stage. Maybe trying to go for something aggressive, thinking that Nikita Endlock was going to take a little bit longer, but nothing doing there. And again, same as stock 2. We are now in even stocks, if anything, IceKnight at a deficit. But that doesn't mean IceKnight won't close out the stock first, because he did last time. But it was with a cheeky option. How do you find the opening? How do you find the stock close with something that isn't predictable, with something that isn't cheeky? Do we go for a high Shadow Sneak again? No, we're going to chase high this time.
Yeah, we're going to be a little more patient. Almost fish for that up smash. Not going to do it, though. And again, all it's going to take right now is one good setup from IceKnight, one good interaction for him, and Rob is a little busy on the ledge here, exploding.
a little bit busy. Playing with himself a little bit too much right there. IceKnight tries to approach with the substitute, but mistimes it. That could be crucial, but actually nothing more crucial there than taking the win. IceKnight 2-2, and we're going into our Game 5. Our
Game 10.
last game 10, true. Our last game of Midwest Battlegrounds. This is the finale you've been waiting for, you've been hoping for. Michigan versus Chicagoland. And we're going to see, finally, the stage is, of course, PS2. We weren't going to surprise you with anything there. We're going right back. We played on this stage for basically like 14 games at this point. Why change it? IceKnight's finally feeling like he's got the read on how to play this one out. A new sense of invigoration. Finding things like those shadow sneak kills, taking a page out of Sir Dank's book, and using every tool available on your belt. This is the time to use it.
Yeah.
Game 10.
I can imagine IceKnight is feeling himself now, definitely needing that game win there to set him up here for success. And again, playing a lot more better than the previous games we have seen here. He's a bit more on the upper hand. Again, though, Rob is never too far behind because we have all of these tools he can use at his disposal here. So can't be caught hanging too long on that ledger because, again, that C4 activates, and so does that up tilt, baby. First stock going to be going to Rob.
That's so unfortunate. Greninja's aerial speed is just so slow that it's very easy for Snake on the ground to chase where you're going to be landing and use the up tilt to take the stock. Now, a substitute gets Rob off stage. Oh, tried to catch it off of the explosion. IceKnight's done it a couple of times successfully. Couldn't find it this time. Would really love to close out the stock, but unfortunately, in the aggression of doing so, has taken 52% for himself.
Yeah, it's not looking too good right now, but again, you got 52%, so you still can make do here, and we get the up air going now for IceKnight, still online with that 63%, but you've got to play really careful around all these projectiles because it really does so many favors for Rob right now.
We've seen IceKnight come back from a lot worse than this. 100% could be nothing. It's really a matter of what openings you can find and how patiently you're willing to play around these projectiles. Rob has turned on, though, online. No projectiles on the screen, no grenades on the screen. Finally tossing something there, but now just advantage for IceKnight. You can't just give him the explosives. He will use them against you. But the rapid jab is punished out of shield with an up tilt. IceKnight's at a stock deficit. Rob's back to game plan.
Yeah, but again, we're back in this corner situation where IceKnight is going to be looking for those high recoveries and stale him out with an up air here, but just going to try to fish something out under that platform or even an up smash, but not going to land it. It's so scary when you're in this territory here. You've got another substitute out to play, but it's just too close to call it here. I mean, you're just playing with fire right now.
IceKnight's not afraid to pick up these grenades and then Z-drop them while continuing the approach or the reproach as needed. But now I'm worried. We see these down airs out of shield again. Oh, the up smash doesn't quite take the stock. The percentage wasn't quite there. IceKnight chasing. I love the grab. It shows that you're willing to play disciplined, you're willing to play patient, and the forward air still doesn't take the stock. Rob, not unfamiliar with DIing this move. It's not undoable. 76%, 150% on Rob in climbing, but a whole stock that you have to take. This is looking dire. Substitute upward, evens up the stocks. Game 10, last stock for IceKnight versus Rob. Michigan versus Chicagoland. Not in that order.
This is so brutal. That substitute coming in clutch for IceKnight to take another stock. But again, you're still not done yet. You've got so much work to do. Still have to approach Rob safely and avoiding that C4.
Oh, no.
But we've got the back throw, excuse me. It's the Nikita. Got to avoid it again.
We can get off there, but the up air to catch the jump off of ledge. Rob ends it with a hard read, taking Midwest Battleground for himself in flashy fashion. All of Michigan on the stage to follow up their homie. Congratulations, Rob, for winning Midwest Battleground 2025. As much as it pains us, of course, as Chicagoland representatives, to let that one slip away, we got to give credit where it's due.
Yeah, most definitely. And it is what it is. But again, when you've got competition like that within the Midwest, there's just so many strong reps that, you know, it just happens.
Yeah, and what was Rob, again, I don't have a fact check on this, but I think Rob was like 9th seed, like not even seeded to make top 8, and takes the whole event for themselves, going through the Chicago gauntlet multiple times over in many cases. Just incredible from this player.
And you know what, not exactly an underdog, but I still love a good underdog story. So I can't even lie. I mean, you got gotta take it as what it is, especially just out of that top 8 reach and winning the event. I mean, what a breakthrough. And I honestly